Welcome to the 2350 Effect. The 2350 Effect starts.
Hello, everybody, and happy Sunday. Welcome to the 2350 Effect. As always, I'm the co-host, co-creator of the 2350 Effect and the 2350 Network, and I'm joined and always joined by co-collaborator, co-host of the 2350 Effect, Dr. Tanya Farron. Dr. Farron, tell people a little bit about yourself.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight for our Sunday 2350 Effect. I'm Tanya Farron, owner of Creative Living Ideas, and we have great things for you, including a parenting program and 9 different types of publications for you to have, including Raising the Well-Adjusted Child, a Parent's Manual. And I'm also part of the 2350 Effect with Damien, as well as the 2350 Network. And we'll get into talking to you about some of those things later in the show so you can learn a little bit more about it. So tonight we have some guests. Well, we have a guest, maybe another guest. Exciting. We have 2.
Yeah, we have 2 guests tonight.
Yeah. I'm excited.
So do you want to introduce the guests or do you want me to? Which one?
You introduce.
Anyway.
You give such an amazing introduction.
So it's like Dr. Farron said, we are in for definitely a positive, comfortable treat and experience. We have 2 individuals who have joined us tonight. These brave souls have showed up and joined us. One is Coach Brendaliz. Coach Brendaliz is definitely a person who gets you in tune with your mindfulness, your wellness. You know, if your shoulders are tense, stressed, and heavy, she can actually teach you to use the breath work and get through that and interlock your best self and get out there. Brendaliz is so amazing individual. She has her own lives, her own YouTube. She used to do audio events, and she's just an amazing human being with a lot of energy and positivity. So welcome, Brendaliz, to the 2350 Effect. And she's also a 2350 member.
I'm here. I made it.
Yes.
Hey.
I was like, I need to leave Orlando at a certain hour so I need to be in the live. So I'm here.
Thank you.
And we're happy you're here. Thank you for being here. As Brendaliz said, you know, people are in transit. They make commitments to show up and they go out of the way to show up. So I appreciate you for being here, Brendaliz. Thank you so much.
I'm grateful to both of you and the space that you create for us. So
yes,
this is incredible. And I always love connecting with both of you. So, and I can't wait for Jackie to step in. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to the conversation for sure.
Thank you. And I should have asked Brendaliz if she wanted to introduce the next person. So she did say Jackie is here. Jackie Holberg is we've done a lot of lives, audio events and stuff together. Jackie is definitely a positive energy person, someone who wishes people wellness, Wishful Wednesday, so many other things. She has her lives, you know, just Jacks and guests. She has Emotional Women. She does a day job helping people with re-entry. She does so many things. It also talks about traveling. This is the individual who taught me that all you have to do is take your pillowcase, have it empty, and if you put your bag on top of the scale at an airport and it's over, pull that pillowcase out, put those clothes in there, take it out, close it up, and you don't have to pay extra. Please welcome person that gave me those tips, Jackie Herberg. Welcome to the 2350 Effect, and she's also a 2350 member.
Thank you, my friend. So funny thing, there are some people going viral that stole that tip that are making a lot of money off of it. Isn't that hilarious?
I love that. That's funny.
Oh, so glad to be here with all of you guys. Thank you for hosting this.
Thank you for hosting and getting both of us on your show. So we've been both on your show before, so I thank you for that as well. And I'm so glad to have you all. But we always come to start with that. Have to start with a laugh, a call, or a text. What is that thing in the last 7 days? Those people out there who have been joining us, please continue to put where you're from, where you're at, where you're joining us from, and we would love to hear that. What is your laugh, your call, and text? What is that thing in the last 7 days that made you just reach out to people and say, hey, I got to laugh out loud. I got to call them. I got to text them. Leslie Flowers is in the community. Outside in the comments, Christy is in the community, Melissa's in the community, in the comments, and Lean in the community. They're meaning they're in the comment section and putting it out there. Those people out there who are showing in, show us your love, where you're from. So who wants to start with their laugh, their call, their text for this week?
I'll be happy to go.
Sure.
I don't know if I've ever been first. Okay, so Miss Noni, most of you guys know her just by the first name. She is celebrating a special day here coming up, and I just decided to tag along with her for this. So her and I have been texting like mad women lately because we are going to see each other live in person in less than 2 weeks, guys. I am so excited because she's on the whole other side of the country and I'm in Michigan. So we've got lots of plans. So we're super excited about that.
That's awesome.
Lots of smiles.
That's going to be fun. That's going to be fun. I've been present in some of her spaces, and she is just a fun person for sure. And you're a fun person. So that's going to be a great gathering. You guys will have a good time together. I love that. I love that. How about you, Brendaliz? What is your laugh, call, or text?
Remind me of the question. So is my laugh meaning what?
So laugh, call, or text. What was something this week that either made you laugh, or you made you call somebody, or you got a text from somebody, you know?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I always forget. I would say it's a laugh. I went to a conference on Thursday with my daughter, and I met 2 friends there. It's an AI for business conference, and it was beautiful. Like just seeing her connect. She's 15 only, and connect with all these adults that are business owners. So just looking at her, it was like the most mesmerizing and blessed moment for me, I would say.
How amazing.
And we laughed a lot, and we laughed so much through the whole weekend. It was funny and hilarious. So it was good.
I love that. You and I are going to have to talk in that parenting space about the things that you're doing with your daughter and her business, and, you know, things that she's getting started in life. Like, that's pretty incredible, giving her that entrepreneurial spirit. So it sounds like a fun space. That sounds like a fun conference to go to. Very cool. So
yes,
my laugh, call, or text was with Dr. Mel Vandevort this week. Dr. Mel's also a member of the 2350 Network, and she had reached out to me asking if I wanted to be in her next anthology. And I was like, you know, I haven't really had time to be in anyone's. And yes, I think I'm ready. I think I've got the time and the space. And so she's got her anthology is Milestones of Women in Education. And for the MILE of Mile, she has a book. So there's a 4-book series in it. And the I is Inspire. And it's about women in education. And so inspire, and how my story is going to be about inspiration. So I'm excited to be able to be in that. So it's been fun bouncing back and forth with her, texting and messaging about this project that she has. How about you, Damien?
I think my biggest laugh, call, text is this, because last week was Father's Day. I went and saw my father, and then this week I had to call my mom because her birthday's coming up and coordinate something to do with her. So it's always good to kind of have those connected conversations and those people know. I did move back to the New York area. We're closer to my family, so I get to be able to see them. So that is my laugh, my call, my text, being able to call them, checking at them, and see them in person. So
That is so special. It is nice. I'm glad that you're able to do that. That's awesome.
thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh my gosh. Go ahead, Damien.
So since we have two amazing people here who have two amazing journeys, a whole bunch of things in conversation, it only fitting that we actually have a conversation and get to know them a little bit more. Yes, get to know them a little bit more. We kind of, some of us know a little bit about Brendaliz and a little bit about Jackie, but we want to get to know them a little bit more. Dr. Finn, you want to take the first question, conversation piece to get to know them?
Yeah, I really do. We all have our own journey that, has brought us to LinkedIn, but we've all met because of LinkedIn, because of some room, space, person, connection with LinkedIn. So I'm curious as to what brought you to LinkedIn. What was the reason or direction that brought you to this platform? And Brendaliz, you're in thought. Are you ready to answer, or do you need more?
Yeah, I can go ahead and answer.
Okay.
So I've always been in LinkedIn for a long, long time. I think I am a LinkedIn member for more than 15 years or something like that. However, in 2022, after I lost my job, I came into LinkedIn very actively job hunting, and then it became so toxic for me because I was seeing people from the other company growing up and I didn't get an opportunity to grow. And I kind of took a sabbatical. And I realized that as I was building my business, I needed to come back to LinkedIn because this is where my audience is. And when I did that, and it took a while for me to make that realization and kind of like step over my fear. And when I finally did it, I felt, oh my God, like this is so free. So I met beautiful people. I expanded my network beyond the corporate space. And I think I have impacted hundreds, if not thousands of people's life with the activities and the things I have done in LinkedIn. And that makes my heart like really smile. And I did that comeback in 2023. Yeah, a while, I would say probably mid of 2023, because I knew LinkedIn was the place I needed to be.
Yeah. Very cool. Jackie, how about you? What brought you to the LinkedIn space?
So I was sitting here and I'm kind of like Brendaliz, where I had been on forever. And I don't know who got me started. It was probably somebody at work or something. And they're just like, yeah, you go on there in case, you need to hire somebody or somebody wants to hire you. And I'm like, okay, I guess. And my account sat dormant for so long, like I might check it once a year or something. And I remember I switched cell phones and I forgot to download the app on the new one. So I forgot I even had LinkedIn for the longest time. And all of a sudden I saw in my email that somebody had wished me a happy birthday, and then somebody else. And I'm like, what happened? Like I used to get one birthday wish from LinkedIn users when I just let my account sit dormant. And all of a sudden I was getting like 50 messages, and I'm like, I haven't even wrote on this platform. I don't know who these random strangers are. They're not like my normal social media people. So I'm like, I got to check this out. And I got on there and I'm like, oh my gosh, people are actually talking and supporting each other, not just looking for business. And that was right about the time where I had really been hardcore into getting to all 50 states. And so I started realizing I could connect with other people that were in some of these states. And that's when I turned my desire to travel solo and my desire to get to all 50 states into a side business called Tripping with Jax. And so I started, and when I first started LinkedIn, I was like posting like local community events and a few things that were going on in my town. And I'm like, oh my God, there's people from like other countries, other continents on here. Why am I doing this? And then through that, then I just kind of grew from there. And then of course, entered Damien Kinsey into my life, and then everything changed and expanded. So I love it now.
Agreed. I love it. It has opened our world. I mean, I truly believe our entire world. And I'm so grateful for meeting everyone that we have met, the people in our network, other people, finding their talents. It's been really incredible, really an incredible experience.
Yes, I agree. It's been an incredible experience. You get to meet so many people, individuals. Like, I'm glad that I was able to meet y'all through this platform, build relationships, and get to the point where we're able to like communicate, collaborate, and do stuff like so many things. I do have a question, Charles. I did see your question. I'll get to it, Jack. I know you had a question for you, Jackie, but I'll get to it after this if you want to answer that, Jackie. Give me a person that you met through LinkedIn in your area that you didn't know before you were on this platform. So somebody in your area that you met through this platform that was interesting that you didn't meet before LinkedIn or didn't even know about.
Your area, like where you live, or your area, like
Yeah.
your field of
Where
expertise?
you live.
So I've had that a couple times, guys. I've actually been at a couple vendor events where people have came up to me, and this was like when Damien and I were hot and heavy with Wishful Wednesday, and they're like, "You do Wishful Wednesday," and I'm like, "I don't know who you are, but thank you. I love this." I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is like feeling pretty awkward, but yet exciting." So I just rolled with it. But one person I want to highlight is he is not super active on LinkedIn. He's pretty active on other social media that I'm together with, but his name is Ringo Alexander. And he was probably the first one locally that I guess I connected with on LinkedIn that I didn't personally know. And I remember like all of a sudden seeing him just liking all my posts and commenting on it. And I'm like, why is this guy from my town? And I don't know him. I've never heard of him. And it was probably a couple weeks after he started really commenting on my things. I had talked about going to an event in our community where we were doing a vendor event. It was for kids and families and things. And he showed up at that. And I was just like, okay, this is kind of wild. He brought me a card, like a real card that he got at the store, hand wrote, "Thank you for all the positivity you have been sharing on social media." I about fell off well, technically, I think I was standing. I wasn't sitting when he came up because he's super tall. So I had to stand up to hug him. And that just blew my mind. Then we connected on other social media, and now we see each other in the community all the time. I saw him Friday night. I saw him at the Juneteenth event on Sunday. He's volunteered for my daughter's nonprofit. It's so wild that he was right in my community. We had like walked in parallel spaces for years, but it took LinkedIn for us to actually connect. So I love that. Like I said, he's not super active, but he is such a great human. And the places he shows up, even in between, he works different shifts at an airline. So sometimes he'll go to community events, even if he can stay for an hour just to put his face there and leaves again. It's touching. It really shows me that you don't have to be in the limelight to make such an impact. And it was really helpful to me to see that I was making an impact on him, even without even knowing it. So that made me happy.
That's pretty awesome. I love that. Isn't that our goal, right? You just want it to go and you want to make an impact and help others. So amazing. How about you, Brendaliz? Yeah.
Okay, I'm back. I don't know what I did. I clicked on something and something went off that I shouldn't have. So I muted myself again just to make sure that nothing was coming through the microphone that shouldn't have. So when I think of LinkedIn and the people I have met, oh my God, I have met so many people in this area because it's funny because when I came back in my second phase through LinkedIn, right? On my reckoning, let's put it that way, I didn't have many connections from Florida. And I think coming into LinkedIn in the professional space, it was the same time I was moving into Florida. So it actually helped me a little bit. But I would say someone I have met from my area that I haven't met in person, but I can't wait to meet her is Christy.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I just can't, like, I think, like, I have seen how she's evolving through the last couple of months and years in LinkedIn and her interaction and like all the wisdom that she can bring into the table. And I know we haven't met in person, but I know one day we will.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not that far. We're like 45 minutes away from each other. So that's actually cool.
Oh, nice.
That's amazing.
How about you, Dr. Farron?
So
I know we all need Christy.
Yeah, that is a good one. So I was able to meet through LinkedIn Dr. Mel Vandevoort, and she is about 30 minutes from me, and we have met in person. I invited her to a conference that I was going to, a women in education conference in downtown St. Louis, and she attended it with me. Was able to meet her there, and we've text messaged each other, and have supported one another. It's been really a fun journey. I also met Deanna Pelly. She doesn't live in Missouri, but she's from Missouri. So she comes to Missouri to see her family. So I've been able to have, meet up with her and talk to her. And that was incredible as well. So I'm excited to see everybody for the 2350 Network meetup. And I know we'll talk about that later, but I am excited about that because I love it. It's just been incredible. I always tell everybody, and you've probably heard it a million times, I bring my computer and I'm like, well, I've got all my LinkedIn friends with me and I'm taking them here, and then I go here with them and I can pop it open and talk to whomever, whenever I need to. It's just a great community. I love it. How about you, Damien? I heard you put in there Felipe and Marcia.
Yeah, so I met Felipe and Marcia in person. We did this DC meetup in DC, Felipe and Marcia. I met a lot of great people in person I didn't know from prior to. I met Jamie, Rocky Mo Best, Helpful Living Magazine in person. I've met Dr. Mispa Kurishi, who her and Dr. Farron do an amazing live on Tuesdays once a month. Mm-hmm. And Bianca Nelson, who's amazing. Like, if you have never met Bianca in person, her energy, her passion for helping kids and getting kids to travel and get passports is amazing. So she's like those people that I met when I was in the DMV area, DC, Maryland, Virginia area. So those are the people that quickly pop in my head that I met that actually was from that area. I met other people who came out to the DC area and I met them as well. But those are some of the people I met in those areas and spaces that are amazing.
I love it.
So good. And actually be able to meet up. We went to Marcia, myself, Felipe, Ann, and Grace we went to a library and we hosted a live in a library. And we had Miss Kim from Africa producing it and running it from Africa. And it's amazing, like, to be able to have these connections with these people and individuals. And you're never late, Nick. Whenever you get here, and that's the perfect time to be here. Thank you so much, Charles. I know Charles had a question for you, Jackie. Feel free if you want to answer it.
I think it was for both of them. I think it was for Jackie and Brendaliz. It was just a...
Oh, yeah, Brendaliz and Jackie. The answer. Mm-hmm. So here it is. Thank you for correcting me.
Mm-hmm. You want to go first, Brendaliz?
No, I was going to say, Jackie, go ahead. Be my guest.
I will be happy. I was not expecting a question like this from him, though. But I would say the thing that... and I don't like that H word. I do know that I have used that H word a lot more lately with some of the weird stuff going on in the world. But I would say the thing for me that that I hate the most is that I wasted so much of my life hating my body and being upset at decisions I made or didn't make. And I wish I would have lived in the moment a whole bunch more. And I wish I would have not felt like I had to be like, do stuff to make sure other people weren't judging me one way or the other, because I think it self-sabotaged in a handful of ways. So that I would definitely use the H word for that. I definitely hate that about wasting so much of the time. And I think probably the thing I love the most about myself is that, guys, I grew up in a very rural, conservative town. And, the fact that I could learn and grow and change, and I am so inclusive and welcoming and anti-racist, and so many people still in that town are not. And it gives me hope that anybody can change and anybody can see life differently when they're exposed to different things. And that's why I travel so much, so that I can hopefully bring bits and pieces back to people that can't travel and can never see other humans or cultures or cities or states or countries, because when you just see the same walls that you're stuck in, that's how you're going to believe that's what you think the world is like. And I love that I'm open to so much more than that. So thank you, Charles. That was a deep question. I definitely had to think about that. When I saw it pop up, I'm like, maybe we won't have time to get to that one. Damien's got enough questions and Dr. Tanya has some stuff. So Your turn, my friend.
I was like crossing my fingers we wouldn't get to it, but we got to it. No, it's deep, but at the same time, I would say it's an important reflection, right? Because the way we see each other, the way we see ourselves, is the way the world actually turns back and sees us. So I think for a long time, I always wanted to have the last word. Like I wanted to be that person. Like I lived in a world where, in my own mental world, where like I needed to make sure that people understood my point of view, because I felt I wasn't understood for a long time. And I feel that's no longer me, but it's something I'm really always uh, extra aware that I don't come across like, you know what? I like sometimes that's their problem, not mine. Like not taking it personally and not having to prove my point has been so lightweight. It has allowed me to move through life easier. So yeah, that's one of the things that I would say I hated. um and the one that I still think I hate and I love about myself, because there's a hate love relationship there, it's I'm really curious all the time. So sometimes I know my curiosity takes me to like very deep tangents of like disappearing for days and investigating things. So but at the same time, I think that's what makes me very unique, because through that curiosity I learn and I expand, and my perspective of the world has changed significantly. So yep, thank you, Charles, for the question, for the reflection.
And yes, thank you for that. Thank you for answering those questions. And I know we have a few more questions that are coming in. I'll definitely get to them in a moment. And I appreciate you sending those questions in. So we're kind of intertwined here between a few things. Some of it is you know, there's audio rooms, and we're gonna get to talk about audio rooms in a moment. So do not disappear. We're definitely gonna talk about audio rooms, but we're intertwined through a 2350 network. And the 2350 network, if you have no clue what it is, all you have to do is write the numbers 2350 in network, and it'll pop up on your Google search, your whatever search engine you use, and it'll pop up. It is a networking group of professionals from every different aspect of professional development in industries, and we meet together to form this group where we do professional development. We have a book club in place. We also have opportunities when we work together. There's an application process where you can click and you'll see if you're a good fit or not. And then we also do member spotlights and so many different features on the 2350 network page. Member spotlight, we have, I believe it's Dr. Rose. Yeah, Dr. Rose, the member spotlight. And if you go up, is the magazine that Jamie Rocky Moore Best, who I spoke about earlier, created with Helpful Living, with one of the summits that myself, Dr. Farron, also Jackie and Brendaliz was a part of as well. And also the schedule calendar is there as well. These are the events that we have for the month. I know the month is winding down quickly. We do Leadership and Lemonade. It was a leadership conversational talk piece. We do the 2350 Effect. Think Tank Thursday is also incorporated as well. And we do a host of a lot of other things. And we also do have guest night in our campus. We should be doing that pretty soon, and the 2350 retreat should be coming up soon. So the 2350 network is a networking group that we created to get professionals in one space from all different communities, places, and spaces to have people together. I know some people in the audience. Christy is a 2350 member. Nick, the Gifted Bipolar Writer, is a 2350 member. Leslie Flowers is a 2350 member. And if you want any more information about the 2350 network, click on and go to the website. And also you can reach out to myself, Dr. Farron, anybody who's a 2350 member, ask their take on being in the network as well. Anything else you want to add, Dr. Farron, before we get back to our questions?
Nope.
All right. So thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
So now my question would be, let me take this off the screen.
Drum roll, please.
So Listen, we all intertwined. We all got together from a lot of different things, different places and spaces, and I can safely say we all came from the audio room era, right? Correct? Well, show of hands. Yes. People out there, let me know if you came from the audio room era. What was the impact that if those people don't know what the audio rooms is, you can send me a message on the side and I'll helpfully explain it to you as well so you don't feel left out. What impact did the audio rooms have on you as a person overall? It could be professionally, it could be personally, it could be relationship, it could be building a business, anything. How did audio rooms affect you doing them and being a part of it?
I can go first, Jackie, if you want. Okay, cool. So for me, it has helped me in multiple dimensions. Number one, it helped me actually be able to get my voice out, right? And it served as a place where I could go and test things and then like figure out how to best approach and communicate with people. So that was one way. Second, I met amazing people and had conversation with incredible people with incredible stories. And because audio rooms allowed us to bring people into stage where we could have that conversation and people can interact by raising their hands, etc., etc. It created a dynamic of sharing that was very interesting, and a lot of learnings happened through that. I do miss them, like Nick just posted. I feel, even though we've tried to use the live events through StreamYard or Restream differently, I still feel there's a small portion of what I achieved in that space that it's really has been for me difficult achieving here. So yeah, but I met amazing people and it was really cool to be able to have conversations with people.
Nice.
I totally agree. I feel like I would not have invested the time in LinkedIn and meeting so many people if it wasn't for the audio events. It's brought so many people into the world. Amy and I did 2 different shows every month for almost 2 years. And the people that would share some of the toughest times in their world live with a whole bunch of strangers, people from all over the globe that just happened to click on the button that night. It was powerful, and it was something that we knew there wasn't a replay that would just be passed around any day, and you didn't have to worry if you were dressed correctly, or you could be doing your dishes and listen just as strongly as you could. Where I feel with the live events, I feel like I'm not doing it justice if they're on video and I'm doing something else, kind of like you're cheating on a TV show or something. But I do love that we get to know people a little bit more as humans. I mean, you guys probably never knew I talked with my hands so much when I was on audio, because I'd be going on left and right even while nobody knew I was going, it's a different vibe. I love this format. I'm so glad we have this time together, and that, I am able to learn and stuff. But it's like, I wouldn't have met Melissa. We would have never started the Emotional Women if I didn't get to hear her voice and hear her passion align with mine, and then she got to hear me, and we got to be a guest on each other's things and everything. And it's like, I think post and all the algorithm stuff, I mean, we would just never have met the people we meet. And with these live events, like I said, they're great, but I notice not as many people say they're going to them as they used to say they were going to the live or to the audio events. And I don't know if it's because they just physically don't think they can sit down and watch a video, or if they don't realize that we still need those people to say, hey, I'm going, because then it trickles out to their network and lets people know to, hey, check into it. Even if you can't watch it live, you could check a replay. Or even if this isn't a topic you like, just try to give me a little support, because maybe somebody else in your network needs to hear what we're going to talk about tonight. So I miss the audio rooms. I definitely notice there's a lot less people saying they're going to them. So I don't think as many people, maybe, we got a lot of the same people from the audio events that are in the LinkedIn events, and I appreciate them so much. And I love seeing new faces every time in a LinkedIn live now, but I don't feel like we get the chance to really know them. And some of us don't have time for the coffee Zoom meetings like we used to. And I just feel like reading a comment is great, but being able to hear somebody's voice when they raise their little hand to talk on audio was so powerful. So I miss it. And I am so thankful I was the audio era. I would not have met all of you guys and really bonded. There might not even be a 2350 network if there wasn't audio events, you know. We might not have ever done the summits together, the conferences you guys host. So I'm so thankful for it. And it will always be one of those, man, I wish they wouldn't have got rid of them, even if everything that comes better is even more cool and awesome.
Thank you so much for that. Dr. Farron, did you want to take this question?
I do. I want to talk about this. You know, one of the things that I was really thinking about with the audio events, it really was awesome for people who were wanting to publicly speak and for people who were nervous about it, scared about it. We all had a lot of people on our shows where it was the first time that they came to speak publicly and they had been listening and learning. And so, you know me, the educator, I'm going to go in and look at that reason why it should come back, because it really did help with public speaking. It gave more people a voice. You know, we were able to hear from more people around the world, which I loved. People were just joining in. People were laying in bed joining in. You know, they were in other countries and they were in the middle of the night. Or I felt like you could always also just kind of find an audio event that was going on. Like if you couldn't sleep or you got up extra early and you were going for a walk, you could pop in something and listen to it. And I just don't see that happening as much with the lives. Even myself, you know, Damien and I did a couple early morning things and it was great, but I didn't have to get ready for it. I was in my pajamas. I might have been sitting on the couch while we were doing the event. And then I might, you know, go into my room and kind of start getting ready while people are, you know, you could multitask while you were doing it. You cannot multitask on this part here. And you could black it out, but it's just not my vibe. You know what I mean? So I feel like if I'm doing a live, I'm doing a live. And it was always so fun when you'd hear the audio room and then you got to see the person live finally after maybe a year of listening to them. You're like, oh my gosh, you know, like it was exciting to actually see their faces. And like you said, their mannerisms. Me too. I talk with my hands all the time. Jackie, you and I know we've got to be sisters somehow. I'm not sure, but somebody on my last live was like, are you Italian? These hands just don't stop. I'm like, I know. I'm sorry. I'll try to sit on them.
I'm right there with both of you. Like my hands.
We're
but I know that in my case is the Latino inheritance, right? I know that that's very strong Latino trait. And I will never change it.
Me either. I love it.
Yeah. So many connections and relationships were built through audio events. It was so organic. It was easy to do because you got a chance to actually hear people's voices. And it wasn't even the literal voice of people. It was people's like finding themselves as individuals, growing as professionals, being able to publicly speak, and even have people say, you know what, I'll join your summit because I talk in audio rooms, or you can do it, and people cheering people on and supporting people. I think it was definitely a healthy, safe space for a lot of things that went on to build those relationships externally through on those conversations through that audio community. So thank you everybody who was part of the audio room community. You will always be part of the community, and I thank you and appreciate getting to meet and know you. And I know everybody else probably on this stage alone probably feels the same. We did have a question from the audience. Do you want to ask your question first, Dr. Farron, before we act? After we act, then we can ask.
Go ahead. Go ahead and do the other one. Mm-hmm.
You sure? Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. So Jessica had a question.
Yeah.
You want to ask? Yeah. Okay.
So that was. So I knew I always wanted to help people. I always wanted to be a social worker. I always wanted to help people because some people have heard me share my story about my dad. He was a Vietnam veteran and he had significant mental health and physical health issues. So I knew I wanted to help people. But in my mind, I was always helping tiny little kids that probably looked just like me, that just had sad little things going on at home. It was not until I went away to college. And when I say went away, I did live at college, but it was an hour and 40 minutes away. So I came home on the weekends to work and everything. And not only did I have my very first Black friends when I was in high school, I started hearing about things about what America did to like Native American children and different things about slavery that I didn't learn in school, and different things about some of the tragic events that happened that my tiny little school never even thought was important to tell us about. And I realized that I was living in a very sheltered, and it was a purposely sheltered world. And now we have no excuses. Guys, I'm old, so I grew up way before the internet. I grew up way before social media. Now you have no excuses. I mean, most of my life we had 3 news channels, and it just depended on which news anchor you thought was most handsome or cute or something, which show you wanted. They said the exact same things. There was nothing new and interesting. You had to actively seek out. Guys, I have lived, other than when I went away to my bachelor's degree, I have lived in the same community. I have worked in the same community my entire life. So if I didn't purposely seek out alternate information, I wouldn't know. I would think all the things that I grew up hearing and thinking and experiencing. So we can't use that excuse that we don't have knowledge. We don't have a voice. We deserve to ask questions and to question educators even. I mean, Dr. Tanya, you don't want your students all shaking their head, yes, ma'am, all day. You want them to grow. You want them to learn and question things. Brendaliz talking about being curious. Please don't ever think that's a negative trait, because too many people don't think they can ask questions, and then they stay very limited in their focus. Now, am I a perfect angel? No, not at all. There are so many countries I don't even know how to pronounce their names. There's things that are going on internally in different, even cities that I'm not aware of, but I'm never going to stop learning because I don't have all the answers. And I know that what I believe today may even change in 3 months from now or 3 years from now. So the world is a better place when you are diverse. I mean, look at all these beautiful faces. Can you imagine if we all looked exactly the same? I know some of us all talk with our hands the same, but if we all dressed the same, if we all had the same tone of voice, how boring would that world be? So I actually feel very sorry for people that don't learn and know how to interact with other humans. So sorry for such a lengthy discussion. Jessica, if you want to ever talk offline about that a little bit more, it was not an overnight success. It was a lot of, oh, I'm not like that. Oh, yeah, you kind of are like that because that's what you grew up believing. Not because my parents ever said this is how you got to believe or anything, but that was just the way our school dynamic, our community dynamic was. And unfortunately, it kind of still is for a lot of people. So I try to stay away unless I'm going to my bestie's house.
Thank you for answering that question. And speaking of besties and appearances, Brendaliz, her dog, has made an appearance on the 2350 Effect. You know, it is definitely not alive without Brendaliz and her dog. You know, and it goes back to the testament of being open to new opportunities, new people, and new perspectives, and just communicating and getting together with people. You know, I know we want to all gather and get together. Speaking of gather and get together, you want to gather and do the next question, Dr. Farron?
Yeah, absolutely. I really do. So finish this sentence.
Oh,
Brendaliz is, or Jackie is. Finish the sentence.
okay. Jackie is amazing, smart, and powerful. There you go.
I love it. Wrap it up.
I was so going to do the same thing to you, but you hit unmute first. I'm like, I don't want to do that to myself.
I'm like, I'm not, you know what? But that's a trait that we women have that we don't like. I just came from this conference where most of the speakers were men, just a handful of speakers were women. Like less than 20% of the speakers were women. So, but it's funny because as I see the few women that stepped into the stage, we apologize so much. And no, you know, yeah. On a second note, yeah, I'm amazing too. I'm smart. I am someone who is always curious, and I love every bit of my life. So yeah. But it's funny because my first reaction is like, no, I'll talk about Jackie, not about me. But then you know what? We have to own it.
Yes, we do. We do. And just following up on Brendaliz, she is fierce, she is beautiful, she is dynamic, and she truly cares about getting humans to take care of themselves mentally and physically. And she could be just trying to charge you money just because she wants to make money, but she actually wants you to get to that level. And that's one of the coolest things when you get to really know your connections in here. And I can't wait to finally meet you in person, Brendaliz. It's got to happen, and it's like, when you have somebody that truly cares about other humans' mental wellness and their physical opportunities, it shows a different vibe than if you're just like, hey, buy my book. Hey, sign up for this class. Hey, I want to sell you something. Do you need me to 10 times you and do this and this? It's like, really, guy? Okay, no, thank you. So thank you for being amazing. And thank you for being a friend and being part of the 2350 network and all you bring to so many people. It's amazing. Okay, I will say Jackie is a whole lot. I do a whole lot. I have a lot of energy. I have a lot of chaos. I have a lot of love. I have a lot of passion. But yeah, I also have my limits, guys, and I have my boundaries, and that took a long time to get there. It's still kind of evolving some days, but I see the beauty in so many areas that other people aren't willing to see. And sometimes I think that takes a lot of opportunity to realize that beauty doesn't have to look the same for everybody, whether it's in a person, whether it's in a place, whether it's in the spoken word, whether it's certain things. So for me, Jackie is a whole lot, but she is still growing. She is still adapting. She is still evolving. And until my dying breath, I absolutely hope I never stop wanting to get more information, because that's when my brain is happy. And that's when I'm seeing other people grow. And so that's what I would say. That was a lot. Gosh, I talked way more than I thought on that question, because I was hoping.
There you go. Own it. Own it. Own it.
Thank you. Those are definitely one of those questions that start getting people rolling. It's like, I don't know what to say, but you get to the point where you're able to just like open up and say a lot. And I love how both of y'all kind of praised and talked about and bragged about each other first before talking about yourselves. So kudos to y'all for doing that as well. And Jack, you said you're a lot. Life is a lot, things are a lot, so many things go on. We talk about wellness. Everybody here talks about being well, living well lives. What is one of those things that can turn a bad moment or mood into a positive moment or mood for you? So what is that thing for you?
I'll go real quick because she's still in deep thought. I can see every time her head goes up, she's in extra thought. I love it so much. For me, it's two things. I really love random positive text messages. It seems like so often I get text messages that are asking for something or needing something, or they kind of feel like obligated. So when I just get a random text or a message that's not asking for anything, that's just totally, I hope you have an amazing day, or thank you so much for what you said yesterday, or something like that. I could be like in literal like hangry mode or something where I'm just not a great Jackie to be around at that time. And that just livens everything up. And the other thing, I keep staring at Brendaliz's microphone every time I've seen her on a live, and I just want to pet it so bad. And then I see her animal in her lap and I'm like, animals do it for me, guys. I don't know how you cannot be around an animal and not change your vibe. And you're going to be hearing a lot more about that if you join my show tomorrow night, because we're going to be talking all about dogs. And I think unless you grew up scared of animals, it changes your brain chemistry when you just see something that is just so happy to see you. It can make my day great.
Thank you for that. Brendaliz, how about you?
I think for me, it's all about questions, like just having someone come in, and it goes back to my strength of curiosity. I feel that sometimes people just need to know that you're there, but just be curious, not just how are you, but like, hey, how was your weekend? Did you did something fun? Like just, and I know for some people this may sound as shallow. For me, it's not. For me, it's going deeper and making a connection with the people. And I think like I can think of the moments where I probably have my challenges with communication, maybe with my husband or my daughter. And I feel that when they come across judging, it's really difficult. But when they come and they start to ask questions, why did you react this way? Or why was this important for you? or why, what does this mean for you? Just that simple question, what does this mean for you? Eh, I feel I can just speak my mind without judgment, and as a result, like, it turns things completely, in terms of the conversation. And I try to go with that model too with other people, like, just curiosity, just be curious, ask questions, expand your perspective. We don't know what we don't know, but if we judge from a place of what we know. But when we recognize as humans that there's so much more, and that every human being may have a different perspective about the same single event, then I think trying to understand where other people are coming from makes a huge difference.
I love both of those answers. Damien, how about you? You know, this question sort of stems a little bit from the 2350 network, and what 2350 means. So, Damien, what's one thing for you that you can turn that bad moment into a positive one for you?
So people might not know this about. I don't think people know this at all. I wear reminders to keep me grounded. So I either wear them or have them, like my wallet, or a watch on, or something on that keeps a reminder to stay
Mm,
grounded. So if I'm in those situations when I have those bad moves or bad moments, I try to look at those reminders,
mhm.
even down to my like screenshot screens on my phone.
Your screensaver,
Thank
yeah.
you. Thank you. Help me out.
Yeah, very cool. No, very cool. Those visuals, right? They are kind of that flipping of the brain for sure to be able to do. Love all of those answers. Seek to understand for sure, Brendaliz, right? We've got to seek to understand, ask those questions. And we want people to ask those questions for us too. You know, a lot of times people, it's that active listening and conversation. And Jackie, yes, the fur babies. Well, y'all, many of you probably have been on when I've had my grand dogs here, and we get a weekly dose of our grand dogs, and that's exactly what we want. That brings us a lot of joy and a lot of happiness for sure, for sure. So I just want to also take a minute and thank everybody that's in the audience who's been participating, joining us. Thank you so much for taking time out of your Sunday, whether it's middle of the night, morning for you, you're ending your Sunday, you're starting your Monday. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you, Linda, for being here. Leah, it is great to see you. Nick, appreciate you being here. Charles, you've been an amazing interactive person with us tonight. Janice, thank you so much. C. Condi, John, thank you for being here. Janice, thank you. Leslie Flowers, I appreciate you so much. Melissa, thank you for joining us today. I mean, just amazing to see everyone. I know there's other LinkedIn users. Some of them are Damien, and others that I don't know. Mr.
Jessica.
Jessica, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. Lisa Fevick. It's just been great to see you all here tonight. So thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it.
I have a small confession to make. I didn't like fur animals. I hated dogs. I could not stand dogs. I feared them to death because I was bit by a Doberman when I was very small. And that traumatic event just came with me for the rest of my life. And the pandemic, the pandemic, um, had us take a flight during the pandemic to Puerto Rico to get a dog and then bring it back home to my daughter, but it ended up being mine. So he follows me everywhere. He like misses me more than anybody else in the house. He's always there for me, and like he spends half of the day literally in my lap while I'm working, or in my feet. Like he has a bed underneath my desk, and like I think like the way I see pets now because of that experience. But we got him very small, it's completely different.
I love that you shared that because that's something you and I have in common, but we did things differently. I was actually bit by a Great Dane when I was maybe 2.5 to 3 years old. I still have the scar right by my eye. If it would have been just a tiny bit closer, I would have no eyeball. And instead of it making my trauma hate animals, I became very aware about how evil other humans were to animal. And that's why animals would bite back and they would try to protect themselves. And that's why I've done a lot of volunteering for animal organizations. Now my daughter does. It's amazing. It's like, each one of us have different experiences when we're meant to feel it the way we did. So, we can't judge Brendaliz's experience compared to mine. And so many people want to compare what we do, or, well, I did it and I just did fine. Or, oh, I had that car accident. I can drive. Why can't you drive now? I appreciate you outing yourself, because not everybody is surrounded by animals and think they're a good thing. Some are brought up being told that they're dirty or they're not okay to touch. Same thing like almost anything. Some people don't like the water where it calms me down. Some people don't like talking to humans that either, want to educate them, or they couldn't imagine going to a conference where other of us are like, give us more information, and that's okay, because that's kind of the beauty. And that's one of the reasons I love your guys' network. Dr. Tanya and Damien, you guys don't tell us we have to be a certain person to join the network. We have to have this kind of a business model or this kind of an experience or this kind of a plan going forward. But you do want humans that care about each other and want to be active, and you want to highlight them. And that's so much of the beauty of all of this. So I wanted to just thank you guys before I forget to do that on the show.
Oh, thank you so much, Jackie and Brendaliz, both of you as well. Jackie said it's our network. It's everybody's a part of the network. It's theirs as well. Brendaliz and Jackie are like founding members. We couldn't start the network or get the network off the ground without your support and being there as part of it as well. Speaking of networking, grounding, support, quick question about your businesses. I know both of you have different businesses. What is the foundation of how you started your business, and like what's kind of the purpose of it? And you could pick one, Jackie. I know you have like so many.
Jackie, do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first? Okay, so I started my business after a traumatic incident. I had an injury that impacted my head and neck, and ended up with a cervical fusion. And a couple of years after, I lost my job. So based on that, I knew I wanted to do something different. I just didn't know what. And I guess my own healing journey of having lost my job sent me over a very deep, 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 deep spiral, and where I really touched rock bottom. And when I came out, the methodology that helped me come out stronger than ever is the methodology that I now swear by. So it's the methodology I help my clients with. It's the methodology I use to help other people heal their unconscious, subconscious programming so that they can actually become much stronger. I was a victim of my emotions for many years, and I can proudly say that I cry when I have to cry, but I'm not a victim of my emotions anymore. So, and that's for me a huge win. And I want more and more women to be able to experience that deeper connection with themselves so they can, scale their businesses even more. Because we all have an impact in the world. And I think there's people out there who need our services. And there's so many of us who are hiding behind the computer or hiding behind our phones or the messages we send out, and we are not positioning ourselves to impact the world and humanity with the capacity that we can.
Thank you for that, Brendaliz. Jackie, how about you?
See why she is such an amazing human. I mean, seriously, that was amazing. So I do have two side businesses. Really quick, I started Tripping with Jax thinking it was just going to be a hobby business, help me pay for some trips possibly, but really to get people to want to travel solo and to be able to say, I'm welcome in any space, and these spaces should be welcome to me. Unfortunately, I really don't have the capacity to do much with that anymore. And I've really been trying to focus more on my home re-entry services. So a lot of people don't understand the term re-entry. Re-entry means that you are coming back into society after being detained or being away for some time. Generally, it means in the court system. So either you're going to juvenile detention, you're going to jail, or you're going to prison. Some people will talk re-entry and like when you're expelled from school or different things like that. But I do what's called home re-entry services, and re-entry so much. I've been doing re-entry work since before it was actually a term. It is kind of a buzzword now, and there are so many humans that have had lived experience of being in jail or prison that are doing amazing, phenomenal work. And at first, I didn't want to do any kind of potential competing with them. I didn't want to take that from them with their lived experience. But then I realized I bring something to the table that so many people don't. So many times when you're working in the corrections world, you are either the corrections guard or probation or police or judge, or you are the family members of that person. You're that person that had the lived experience, or you were the victim of the crime, or you were the family members, the children, or the girlfriend, the sister, the brother, the aunt that's grieving you being away from them. And I've actually worked with that entire population. So when I do work, it's not just working with the person about to come home or the person that may not ever come home, but they want to have their home in the prison to be a safer, better place for them. So I'm able to actually use my experience to work with people at the court level, at the prison level, at the legislative level, but also people right in their own families. So many times people don't think about what it means to go to jail or prison if you've never experienced it yourself or had a close family member, and then boom, your family member or close friend has themselves or somebody close to them that has incarceration, and it opens their eyes to the injustice and all the trauma that goes through that. And I want to be able to walk alongside people as much as possible. In my day job, I get to do that all day long. However, that's just in my home community. And I want to be able to bring my experiences outward and to everybody, because I have it all. I work with victims of crime. I have been a victim of crime. I've been in prison to do programming for people. I work with their family members. I work with the kiddos. I work with people at all level of criminal involvement and people after they get released. And it takes a very special mindset to work to make sure that people are moving forward in that capacity and not just limiting them or just kind of checking the boxes. Yep, I talked about housing. I talked about this. We really have to make some positive change. And so that's what I do. That's what I want to grow. I want to make sure my voice is out there for everybody that needs it. And one thing nobody has ever asked me is why I picked the name Home Re-entry Services. And home is always capitalized. Home is actually an acronym that not one person has ever asked me about, but it's actually my training module and the 4 areas that I think is absolutely the ultimate in success. So if anybody wants to chat with me about that or ask me questions on that, please feel free to reach out.
I love that. For the record, I did in the beginning.
Have I changed it since then though? Because I changed the M, by the way.
Oh, okay. Then I'll ask you offline.
And now you need to connect with her. Now you need to connect with her.
It's because we don't talk as much anymore, Damien, but thank you for that. And thank you for calling me on that.
Everybody do me a favor, send Jackie a direct message through a message and say, ask her what home re-entry is. I'm curious if she changed it, what it is, and definitely follow up. Well, Linda has some questions too. She wanted to know, did you do re-entry for cyber related stuff? And I think she had a question for neuroscience for you as well, Brendaliz. So please, if you can get a chance to follow up with Linda about those things as well. It's only fair. Dr. Farron, I know we're running out of time. We were supposed to talk about the Work-Life Balance Summit. We have Brendaliz here. We have Jackie here. Both of them are part of the Work-Life Balance Summit. Do you want to talk about the Work-Life Balance Summit since we're talking about jobs and careers?
Yeah, let's talk about that. So the Work-Life Balance Summit is October 3rd and 4th this coming fall. Tickets are on sale right now. You can go to Creative Living Ideas website and go to the Work-Life Balance Summit tab. Pull this up. You can purchase your ticket here right now. Tickets are on sale for $75 for 2 days. So it is a great deal for you to come to. And it's 2 full days of a virtual event. We've got amazing speakers like Brendaliz and Jackie who are coming to share their knowledge. They're coming to help support you. A lot of us have burnout in the workplace. We're not happy where we're at. We're trying to balance our work and our life. You know, life is overwhelming. Work is overwhelming, whichever area. I'm, you know, my own personal wellness is struggling for that. So honestly, this is a space for everyone. We've got presenters. We will have 26 presenters. We are at 24 presenters right now. I've got a few more that I'm trying to get in touch with that have applied. So I think we're good. I don't think we need any more applications at this point in time. We'll let you know, but amazing people that are going to be presenting on topics. You know, we've got licensed therapists, we've got people from HR, former business people, life coaches, health professionals, nurses. I mean, pretty much educators, a wide range of people that are coming with a lot of amazing skills and talents. So grab your tickets now, so you have them, and then, you know, we'll keep you in the loop about new things that are coming up with it. So make sure that you join us for that event. It is a great, great event.
Oh, yes, and thank you for saying that, Dr. Farron. Last question, and we're gonna close out. Thank you both for joining us. You both are 2350 members. You're both presented at the Work-Life Balance Summit. What makes you want to be connected with the 2350 network and also the Work-Life Balance Summit?
Do you want to go first, Jackie?
I was trying to say your mic's off, but you're still doing your thinking, so I'd be happy to. So first of all, I love spending time with positive people. And even if one of us is having a rough day or business isn't going so good, we might have made a mistake. When we network and when we come together, whether it's one of the standard meetings or just reaching out to one of the other members, it just does your soul good to be around other people. I have been in another business community, and it was more, what are you going to do for me? And then I'll do it for you. And I had to walk away from that because it just didn't feel like it filled me up. And there's enough of those people in your inbox, in your DMs all day long on LinkedIn. It's like, I need real people that are like, hey, Jackie, don't you do that travel thing? Or tell me again what reentry is. Or, hey, I kind of need some support in this, and you might have a connection. Could you find somebody I could talk to? That's what I love about the 2350 network. And again, it's all about that positivity. It's about turning sometimes just that little thing that sets us off and might be like, oh, I'm never going to be successful, or I'm never going to do this. Let's change that mindset, not having that one thought just create havoc all day long. So I'm so thankful to be that. If you have never attended the summits that they do, these guys, I mean, guys, I have been having to go to conferences my whole career, and sometimes they are boring. Sometimes they last forever, or the same speaker talks for 2 to 3 to 4 hours. This is very dynamic. It's a very different kind of a format. You get so much information, smaller pieces of information, but then you get all the contact information to follow up more. You can decide, hey, I really want to learn about this, but not so much about this. So then you can come and go as you choose. You can listen on replay to these, and it's so powerful that I have my whole staff attend these. They have access to it so that if they have to be doing real work during the day, during the conference on Friday, they can still alternate and they can watch it afterwards. And it's something that, even though it says work-life balance, it is for every profession. It's for all those job seekers. It's for people that are retired. It's for people that are just starting in the workforce, or they think they're always going to be in the same career. You will learn so much, and you get so much diverse knowledge. You get diverse presenters. You get so much diversity in terms of their experiences and everything, that it's just the best thing ever. So I appreciate being connected to you guys. It elevates me, but it also fills my soul of the type of people I need to be surrounded with. So thank you. Now I know I gave Brendaliz enough time to think about her answer after that one.
You did, but then like, okay, check, she said this, check, she said this, check, she said this. No, all good. So I like the 2350 network a lot. I feel it's a safe space. I feel it's filled with respect, and I feel the values are very clear. I wish more people will take the plunge and come and join us, because I think the more people we have in it, the more powerful the interactions will be. And there's sometimes we just bring in the topics of what's worrying us or what we're doing, and hearing what other people's perspective is, it's really powerful. So I invite you, if you're curious and if you haven't done so, come in, join us. and you're gonna like it. Then in terms of the summit, so I feel like people don't know what they don't know. And a lot of these summits breach into topics that we may be aware of, but the perspective of the presenter might bring a very different point of view for you to learn from. So, and we don't know, if we don't know what we don't know, then sometimes even helping ourselves progress and become better human beings, it's harder when you don't know what you don't know. So, exposing yourself to summits like this one allows you to get an idea of other people's perspective for topics you may be aware, or expand your knowledge on topics you may not be aware. And sometimes you don't know what you really need and what's gonna help you until you're in a room like that and you're actually listening to other people's perspective, and you're like, oh, I knew I had to be here for a reason, and this is the only reason. So, and I also feel we go through life looking for support from many people, and sometimes we're in the hunt for a coach or for someone to actually help us with A, B, or C. And what better way to actually know and understand how these people that you may be contemplated think, and if there's a connection for you to work with them, than to be in a summit where they're presenting and you can ask them questions. It's like going to, like I say to people, it's like going into a 7-course meal, because you can actually, like a tasting menu, because you can actually get an opportunity to taste here, taste there, taste over there, and then you can pick what works for you the best.
I love it. Thank you so much for that. All right, so that is the summit, the Work-Life Balance Summit is coming up. That is definitely the brain trust of Dr. Tanya Farron, who created the Work-Life Balance Summit. So reach out, get your tickets. It's definitely a great experience and event to go to, and it's in October. And we're planning something else for the 2350 Network during that time. As always, we do kind of finish with the quote. So, okay. What is your closing quotes?
Oh, shoot.
I'll go first while they're thinking. So in my book, I always have quotes in here. Since we're talking about work-life balance, I thought I'd grab the one on self-care for parents. And this quote is by an author I love, Irma Bombeck. She is an author from the 60s. She was a columnist. This is her quote. My theory on housework is, if the item doesn't multiply, smell, catch fire, or block the refrigerator door, let it be. No one else cares. Why should you? Irma Bombeck, author. So just kind of giving you permission. Listen, some days if it's just not causing an issue, just let it go. Just let it go.
I like that.
I like that too. And I think that's one of the things, we beat ourselves up on, is that I should have done this. Why didn't I do this?
Right.
Oh, I still got to do that. So
Right.
that was a perfect quote.
Let's
So
let it go.
my quote is similar to what Brendaliz was just talking about with the whole you don't know what you don't know. And this is from Maya Angelou, which it's hard to pick one of her quotes. There's so many great ones, but this one is, forgive yourself for not knowing what you didn't know before you learned it.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go deep. So I like this quote that says, I have found that if you love life, life will love you back. So love life, but truly love life, not conditionally. And I added that at the end. Yes, just in case.
I like that. So I'm going to go with an oldie but goodie. Don't let 10 minutes of a bad moment disrupt the other 23 hours and 50 minutes of your day. Make every minute and every day count. It's time to bring people together. That is the definite mantra and the meaning behind the 2350 Network. I know, Linda, you were asking about it, and there it is. So with that said, thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Brendaliz. As always, Dr. Farron, for what you do. And thank you all those people who joined us and being out here This is such a great opportunity because you are out here in the space. And we are back every Sunday with more people. Enjoy Jackie tomorrow on her live. Check out Brendali's page. Check out Brendali's YouTube page. Check out Jackie's YouTube page. Go to Creative Living Ideas YouTube page for all the highlights, the replays, and make sure you be part of Team Show Up or Team Replay, and have a good night.
Thank you for attending the 2350 Effect. If you are interested in becoming a guest or a sponsor, please contact Damien or Dr. Tanya. Join us every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the 2350 Effect.